Greetings and good evening. Welcome to this week's episode of Municipal Focus. My name is Bob Hayes, and I'm going to be your show host today. We're live here at Hanson Town Hall, and as you can see, we have a giant crowd of people that are supporting the Camp Kiwanee effort of Save the Camp. They're all here this evening to talk about Camp Kiwanee and what can be done to save the camp. In a few moments, we're going to do some interviews with the people that are across the street, so stay tuned and stay focused on Municipal Focus. This is Bob Hayes, and I'm back here at Hanson Town Hall talking to Rachel Pellegrini, who was a camper and a swimmer at Camp Kiwanee. And I'm going to ask her a few questions. Rachel, how long were you a swimmer at Camp Kiwanee?
From age 5 to 18 when I graduated the swim team.
And what brings you here tonight at age 24? And I know that you go to school and you probably came back a distance. Why did you come here tonight?
Well, I came because the camp meant a lot to me. That's where I learned how to swim. I was a swimmer in college, and that's where all my sisters swam. That's where all my sisters worked. I spent every summer there. It's pretty much the only place in town to have a community, only place to learn how to swim, I guess.
Rachel, what value do you think Camp Kiwanee brings to the town? And tell us kind of quickly what you think should be done at the camp.
I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I'm not sure how it's run, so I can't say anything to that, but hopefully whatever's happening can be resolved. And I mean, there's clearly a lot of people out here to try and save it, but hopefully the swim program continues and whatever is being investigated can be resolved.
Okay, Rachel, so you think that the camp brings a lot to the town?
I do. I think the camp brings a lot. It brings community, it brings people together, it teaches about competition and valuable water safety skills.
So you like Camp Kiwanee,
yeah, I love
and you
Camp
want
Kiwanee.
it to stay?
I do.
And I don't think anybody's saying that it's going to go. I think a lot of the people here tonight have all the same values that you have, but we're going to interview a bunch of them. So thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here with Whitman Hanson Cable.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. As you can see, there is love from this camper for the camp. We'll be back in just a moment. Hi, this is Bob Hayes, and I'm back here with Audrey Flanagan in front of the Hanson Town Hall at a giant gathering of people for the support of Camp Kiwanee. Audrey, what is the camp to you? How did you get started at the camp?
I got started at the camp in middle school with Camp Kiwanee and some of the events that were held up there as a kid through Jack Keane and the Recreation Commission back then. And as I've become an adult in the town of Hanson, I've been involved with all of the plays that Hanson Theater puts on at Camp Kiwanee through Hanson Recreation. My husband's also been the caretaker for 10 years at the camp. So
what brings you here tonight? There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendos about what's going on, and are you here as a concerned citizen to find out at the Board of Selectmen's meeting what's going on? Or?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to have some inside information because my husband is the assistant caretaker, resigned in July. And I'm here tonight hoping that the Board of Selectmen will postpone accepting the resignations from the Recreation Commission tonight and try to work with them instead of just accepting their resignations. And I hope that they'll postpone them and set up some sort of meeting within the next couple of weeks to try to save the commission and save recreation.
You'd like to see this problem resolved. You don't really think that the camp's going away. You just see that there are some investigations going on because there's a lot of talk about what's going on at the camp.
Right.
And people are worried.
Of course
and
they
I know
are.
the selectmen are doing what they can, and everybody's concerned.
I agree. I don't think recreation's going away right now, but I think that if they allow this Recreation Commission to walk away and resign and not do their best to work with them, then I think that people are not going to want to volunteer for recreation, or the Recreation Commission will be run. The Hanson Camp Kiwanee will be run by the administration here, and I just don't think. People will put a lot into recreation, and it'll just turn Camp Kiwanee into a full-time wedding function hall.
And that's not what you'd like to see for the town?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think the weddings are great for Camp Kiwanee. I think they bring in a lot of revenue for them. Camp Kiwanee is self-sufficient. All of their salaries and all of the maintenance on the property is paid for through the enterprise fund of these functions that come in. Tax dollars are not paid for employment or for recreation, and I think the weddings are great because they do allow the camp to subsidize recreation. They do allow the Recreation Commission to subsidize recreation and put money back into the town and back into recreation.
Okay,
so I don't think the weddings should go away. I just think they shouldn't be the only thing up there.
Audrey, thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
coming by, and there's a great showing. There's about 75 people out here tonight.
It's great.
So it shows some interest that there is support in Hanson.
Yes.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have another camper that was a Camp Kiwanee person that is interested in the camp staying. Hi, this is Bob Hayes, and I'm here back at Hanson Town Hall with the current Recreation Commission Chairman, Jim Hickey. Jim, how are you?
I'm good, Bob. How's it going?
Great, no complaints. You have a ton of support here tonight. I see a lot of people out here. You're the current chairman, and I know shortly you're going before the Board of Selectmen, and everybody from the commission has turned in their resignation. Can you give us a little history about the camp and what you do and what goes on at the camp?
Well, as far as the history goes, the camp was bought in 1979 from the Campfire Girls. Shortly after that, Wes and Joanne Bloss started a recreation drama club, which I have been part of for the last 19 years. That's my favorite part of the camp, is doing the plays and just that sort of thing. But in 1980, when Proposition 2.5 took into effect, they lost the Cove, and the Rec Commission took the Cove over. And as far as I can tell, that the Cove now, for the first time ever, may actually make a profit this year. The commission is subsidizing it since 1980.
We're talking about Cranberry Cove, because a lot of people don't understand that Cranberry Cove and Camp Kiwanee are basically the same location on the back end of the lake.
Yes, when the first camp, when it was first opened and owned by the town, there were actually 3 commissions down there. They rolled it into one, which is now the Recreation Commission.
So I guess fast forwarding, and I'm not trying to cut out any history because history is a wonderful thing and I love it. What's going on now?
Well, right now we have what I feel is a bogus investigation. They've been calling it since the inception of it in December, the Camp Kiwanee investigation. You can't investigate Camp Kiwanee. What they're investigating is the Rec Commission.
Why couldn't you investigate Camp Kiwanee? Isn't it one and the same? The Rec Commission is a group that runs the Kiwanee?
And that's true, but Camp Kiwanee itself is 64 acres of land. What they're doing is coming after the Recreation Commission.
Okay, so are you stating, because this is the first I've kind of heard of this, and maybe I'm call it naive, but isn't it one and the same, the Recreation Commission? And this is for the viewers, just so that they get some information. The Recreation Commission runs the whole camp, correct? So get back to the investigation, I guess.
Well, that is true, but the Recreation Commission had 19 employees at one point. Just recently, we were down to 16, and of those 16 employees, 9 of them left. There is only one person up there that the town pays their salary. So anything that we would do would have to go through either the Board of Selectmen or the town administrator. We can't, like for example, we can't put a roof on a cabin without their approval.
Okay, so when you say that there's only one employee that the town pays, you're stating that in the budget line, there is a completely separate line for the Camp Kiwanee line? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes. Camp Kiwanee can run itself with its employees, including Cranberry Cove with the beach director and the lifeguards. But there's like I said before, there's one employee that we do not pay their salary.
Okay, this is all good information for the town, because a lot of the people that'll be viewing the show don't know exactly how the camp is run, because I've been here for a long, long time, and I didn't even know myself, so this is all great information, Jim. Now, is there any danger of Camp Kiwanee going away? I know that there's been rumors and social media calls about the camp going to be sold and houses built to where the camp is. Is there anything to that, or are we just in kind of a little lull here and there's some issues?
Well, I'd have to be honest, Bob. I really couldn't answer that because as of 7 o'clock or 7:15 tonight, I am resigning. The selectmen will read it, and I'll be in the same boat as everybody else, being an ordinary citizen. I was on the rec commission for 2 years, and for 11 weeks I was chairman because the past chairman was removed by the selectmen. And it was actually a part-time job for me, although I got no money. I'm a volunteer, as the other 6 members of the rec commission are. But I was down at town hall every day, or texting or emailing the town administrator with getting no support. So as far as it becoming something else, I hope not. I've lived in this town for 25 years, and I've been going to Camp Kiwanee for the last 19. So I hope not.
Okay, so let me ask you one more question, Jim. And I know these are, again, I'm just trying to get the viewers some sort of information because everybody in town is fairly nervous. They love the camp. Mm-hmm. You talk about there are 6 commission members and 17 employees. A lot of people were confused that there were 17 people on the board. And I guess social media added to some of the calamity that's going on with what's happening at the camp. Everybody speculates and adds in what's going on here and what's going on there. So the 17 employees and the 6 commissioners, of all 6 of the rec commissioners, if I have that correct, are they all resigning?
Yes, I resigned last Thursday, August 11th. And I told the commission why I was resigning. They decided on their own that Monday they would turn in as a whole their resignation for the entire commission.
So you did mention to me that the investigation started approximately 2015 in December, and it now being August, the 8th month of the year, it's a 9-month investigation. Would that have also involved the intern town administrator that they have and now the current town administrator?
Yes, that was started by Rich LeBlanc. It started out as a simple audit, and there were some errors that needed to be fixed, which we were all concerned about, but somehow it went from that simple audit to a full-blown investigation.
All right, Jim, well, thank you very much for coming out tonight.
Thanks,
and
Bob.
I hope that the viewers have got a better picture of what's going on at Camp Kiwanee. Thank you.
Bob.
We're at Hanson Town Hall. Again, there are a lot of supporters here for Camp Kiwanee. And for you viewers, we're in. Hi, I'm Bob Hayes, and I'm back at Hanson Town Hall. And I'm interviewing former chairman and current Board of Selectmen, Bruce Young. Bruce, how are you this evening?
Good. Great to see you, Bob.
Bruce, I'm going to ask you real quickly about what started the inquiry at Camp Kiwanee.
What started it was a compliance audit, a routine compliance audit that was basically done by our audit firm of Lynch, Malloy, Marini, LLP. And as you know, I was in accounting for 34 years, been through countless audits, state, federal, and local audits. And every audit has a management letter, and in the management letter are certain things that didn't quite comply with regularly accepted accounting practices and internal control. And those things are a reminder to those boards and commissions that they have to firm up those things. So that's what really started the inquiry, and I can actually tell you a few of the things that were in that compliance audit. One of them, and none of them are that serious. They're things that just need to be tightened up as far as Camp Kiwanee is concerned. The first one is the camp computer network is not connected to the town network and does not utilize the town email system. We recommend that the camp network be integrated with the town network. That's already been achieved. 2, we were informed that no time clocks are used to track employee hours and to verify the time worked. We recommend that a time clock be installed on the premises and formal policy be adopted with respect to the time clocks. I believe that's already taken care of as well. As you see, these are routine things. 3, we noted multiple instances in which groups paid reduced cost, which was not authorized in accordance with established policies and procedures. We recommend that secondary review of all contracts signed by the camp to ensure that contracts conform to established policies and procedures of the Recreation Commission. Before I go any further on that, I'd like to remind everybody that under the rules and regulations of Camp Kiwanee, the Recreation Commission can, from time to time, grant people, as well as town citizens, reduced rates, and they can grant groups reduced rates if they feel that it's a benefit to the town, it benefits to the group, and benefits to recreation. So, but what in some instances that they didn't do is actually take a formal vote. They have to take a formal vote and then forward their vote over to the town administrator so he can have it on file. So those things have been tightened up at this point. The next one is we reviewed several schedule of department payments to the treasurer, summary sheets, turnovers. These turnovers showed gaps in the numbered sequence of receipts. We recommend any gaps in sequence should be investigated, and any voided receipts should be maintained on site to answer questions related to the gaps in the sequence. The next one is there is no formal inventory log of assets on the property. We recommend that a formal inventory log be maintained and reviewed periodically. We have the following recommendations over the issuance of beach passes. We recommend that the purchase of beach passes be transacted at location other than the cove where proof of residency can be determined and accurate record keeping and receipts be performed. We suggest that to include the resident and provide proof of registration as well as the excise tax bill. So you see, these are all routine things, most of which have been already corrected. That led to an inquiry, and when the Mr. LaCamera, who was the interim town administrator at that point, got more into these inquiries, he discovered under things that led to a full-scale investigation of which the Board of Selectmen was not really involved in, nor could we be involved in it, because it would prejudice any actions that we may have to take after the inquiry is completed. So that's where it stands at this point.
Well, Bruce, isn't it in effect true that most commissions, or whether it be even a school committee, they're audited yearly to make sure that the town residents are protected, because these are volunteer people that are making judgments and they're not on a payroll, and sometimes these actions are warranted to make sure that everything is tightened up, like you said.
I've never seen an audit where there aren't certain things in the management letter regarding this department or that department regarding inconsistencies within generally accepted accounting practice. The board has little or no knowledge of other things involved in this, what they want to call investigation, which I don't like to call an investigation. I like to call it an inquiry. Because when you say investigation, it brings a criminal aspect into it, or some wrongdoing into it, and there is no evidence of anything like that at this point in time. So I want to try to quell those rumors until we actually have a report in our hands from the town labor attorney and the town administrator, Mr. McHugh, who, as you may know, is new in this, and what a thing to step into when you're a new town administrator, basically green to the history of what's going on with the camp and the people within it.
Well, Bruce, I know there's a lot of plays been going on for 20 and 30 years because I heard the history. So when somebody says investigation, it brings that case of drama into it.
Oh,
drama.
Yes, and I've been involved in. I was involved in an Agatha Christie when I played the lead investigator in Agatha Christie, and I've been a supporter of Camp Kiwanee and the unbelievable things that they've done up there to turn that camp around and turn it into a first-class camping and recreational facility and wedding facility. And my heart goes out and my appreciation goes out to all the people that are here this evening supporting recreation and supporting Camp Kiwanee.
Bruce, I know this is a tough question, but the reason I'm doing this show for the cable people is to notify the people of the town that are so nervous. Is there any chance of Camp Kiwanee being closed and going away, in your opinion?
I would say I am 99.99999% sure that there will be a Camp Kiwanee then, now, and forever in the future for you and I and our kids, grandkids, and future grandkids to appreciate.
Bruce, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in front of the Hanson Town Hall with former chairman of the Board of Selectmen and current board member Bruce Young. Thank you. Hi, I'm Bob Hayes, and I'm back here at Hanson Town Hall just before the meeting tonight for the future of Camp Kiwanee. I'm standing here with Neil Fortin, who was a previous Hanson resident. He traveled here from Boston this evening to support the people in the camp because of his former adventures at the camp. Neil, thank you for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about the camp, your involvement? What dragged you here from Boston? I don't mean dragged you in that sense. It's just, what brought you here? I mean, it's support of these people, I understand. So give us a little bit about what your involvement's been over the years with the camp.
Sure. Growing up here, I swam there. I coached swim team there. I lifeguarded there, was a water safety instructor all through my growing up, and also did all the theater activities that the camp offered through Wes and Joanne Bloss here in the town. That fostered a super big love of theater, and I actually just got my master's 2 years ago at Boston University in costume design and production, and work full-time as a professional doing that in Boston, designing a couple operas right now. And it's just all started at Camp Kiwanee when I was 8 years old.
So Joanne and Wes Bloss have been a very impact in your life, and Camp Kiwanee's impacted your life a tremendous amount.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if you're doing it as a profession right as we speak. Mm-hmm. So that's why you came here tonight, to support Camp Kiwanee. In the profession that you do, obviously you would probably want to see other youngsters get involved, and that would be what Camp Kiwanee does for the town of Hanson for other youngsters. If you had anything to say to the supporters of the camp, what would you say to them and to the people that might be viewing this about Camp Kiwanee and how to keep it intact?
Sure. I think the leadership of the camp, including the Recreation Commission, really needs to have personal investment in the camp, and that's what that group was before they submitted that mass resignation. They love that place as much as I do, and they have the time and patience to give back to it. And I think we all volunteer in different ways, but as a volunteer committee, for them to donate all that time, energy, passion, blood, when they build things, everything is really important, because it keeps it grounded in the people that use it. It keeps it grounded in this town, and really allows children and adults to experience things that very few towns have. This community theater is incredibly important to a lot of people, and it allows residents here to kind of participate in something that around here you really don't hear about a lot, which I think is really important. The definition of community, I think, is slowly sort of dissolving in our culture. And this is the most defined example of community that I've ever seen. It's a family. I've friends from college. I went to Providence College in Rhode Island, who've come to see all of our shows for my 15 years now, and they've acted in things, and they live all over the world at this point. We have people from PBD, and somebody who lives in China, have all acted on that Camp Kiwanee stage and keep those ties with them even once they've left. So there's this amazing network of families and ties that really is something super special.
Well, Neil, as you look out and you see these 75 or 80 people or 100 people that are here this evening, you can see the community spirit, and Hanson is alive and well. And by you coming back from Boston, and I know Joanne and I know Wes Bloss, you may be back at Camp Kiwanee sooner than you think, designing costumes. Thank you for your involvement in the camp, and thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
Here we are, live at Hanson Town Hall. We'll be back in a short time. Hi, this is Bob Hayes, and I'm back here in front of Hanson Town Hall with the supporters of Camp Kiwanee, and there's a large contingency of people out here. I'd say somewhere between 75 and 100 people, and people are driving by honking their horns in support and waving their hands. But I'm here with former Rec Commission Chairman Dave Bloss. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Dave, I know you've been involved in Camp Kiwanee, whether it's putting on roofs or whether it's rebuilding cabins or whatever the camp's needed over the years. And I know there's a little blip in the road right now. There's been an 8 or 9 month investigation, and I know that there's been some issues. Can you give me your point of view, just for the viewers to know? Because the people in town are afraid the camp's going away. And I know you've been a tremendous supporter of the camp, as your brother, Wes, and your sister-in-law, Joanne, and a tremendous amount of these people out here are great people. And community in Hanson is alive, as you can see.
Yep.
So can we have your point of view a little bit?
My point of view is something that I don't even know if there has been any real issues, has been blown up into just a total mess. We had a former town administrator who had a track record of not dealing with people well.
Would this be the intern administrator? I'm just doing this so the people would understand. This is a 9-month investigation.
That was the interim town administrator. There were some anonymous Facebook allegations of drinking going on and just other miscellaneous items that, rather than taking me as the chairman and saying, Dave, could we discuss this and what's going on with this, he ended up coming to a meeting. He asked to be put on our agenda. Said he had a few questions about security and a couple of other different items. And basically, when he came, he accosted us with accusations of all kinds of things that were going on at the camp. He had already made up his mind that the entire commission basically was guilty of wrongdoings, and then they started the investigation.
Up to this point, I know the investigation, social media has definitely played into the role of what's going on at the camp. And it's unfortunate that social media has gotten to this point where things do happen, but it is something that you have to deal with in the future, and everyone has to deal with. Just quickly, because we end up, as we always do, these half-hour shows end up really, really quick. Is there any chance of Camp Kiwanee going away? Because people are very concerned that the camp's going to be closed and all the fabulous things that have been done at the camp are going to go away.
Absolutely not. You see the amount of support that we have here tonight. There's a lot of people that are very passionate about the camp. They've got their lives invested into it, and they're not going to let other entities take over what we and the town have built up to be a wonderful facility. This is a blip in the road. It's unfortunate that it's come to this at this point, but this will be taken care of. There's too many people here that care too much about it.
Dave, thank you so much, and thank you for your volunteerism over the years at Camp Kiwanee. It's very much appreciated by the residents. If you read anything or see anything on social media, community is alive and well in Hanson. Thanks,
correct.
Dave.
Take care.
And we'll be back in about a minute to sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bob Hayes, and this is another Municipal Focus. As you can see, community spirit is alive and well with all of these Camp Kiwanee supporters across the street from us. They're all here in support of Camp Kiwanee. Tonight there's a Board of Selectmen's meeting, and these people are all here in support of the camp. Please stay tuned. You're going to see other things happening, but as you can see, community support is alive and well here in Hanson. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Municipal Focus. Again, I'm Bob Hayes. If you need to contact me, my phone number is 617-538-0189, or my email address is bobhayes4433@gmail.com. This is another episode of Municipal Focus.